going on, and definitely some different lap count numbers. We have just been made aware that YouTube didn't quite start the stream. I promised I pressed that button to go live over on YouTube, well, 20 minutes ago, but it seems like YouTube sometimes just doesn't want to cooperate with us despite pressing a button 20 minutes ago. We're just starting over there. So thank you guys for waiting along, the 11 of you that have waited. We apologize for that, but how about that? Still, almost a dozen people waited around on us despite just seeing a screen there for 20 minutes, and that's actually quite commendable. Qualifying opening up, only 3 minutes for these guys to go out there and set a couple of laps, Trey, and I cannot wait to see these guys try and wrangle these cars for just a couple of laps and make it their best.
Yeah, it's going to be quite definitely something to watch. You know, just as I mentioned before, just never seeing these cars really ever before, and never actually seeing these on the service before and covering these for the first time. It's going to be very exciting for me, and I'm sure it's very exciting for these guys, because this is something I know these guys have been looking forward to for a very, very long time. And these guys, you know, as you mentioned, are dirt track people, so getting these on the service is definitely a big step for the dirt track community and just the iRacing community as a whole. As we see right now, Brett Haas has went to the top of the board with a 16.749 quick time right now. It's still a handful of guys still yet to qualify, as we're still having people that haven't logged laps yet and still going out to make better laps.
Making use of these onboards while these guys set their lap times real quickly. You can keep up with the lap times on the left side of your screen on that ticker that Trey mentioned. It's going to be too hard for us to keep up with all of them right now, but we'll of course walk down your starting grid for each heat as a result of it. Since we are counting on a lot of dirt racers this evening, we thank you for tuning in to PitStop TV. I know there's a lot of dirt racing you can watch right now, this week specifically, but the fact that you are here watching PitStop TV means a whole lot to us and the BRP iRacing series. We're watching Ryan Susi now get around the speedway. Looks like he might have just finished up his lap time. He's now a bit slow down the backstretch. We'll see what some more of these guys can do. Well, there goes Jan Bussier, and he is flipping into turn one. That's not something entirely unusual every once in a while. Usually you see it in the sprint cars that these guys have left for these modifieds. Here comes Matt DeRitter to complete his first lap of qualifying, and he is going to go 24th on the board. Some of these times finally coming in a bit more slowly, and we're just waiting on one more car, Thomas Richard, to set a lap time, and we'll be done and away with this 3-minute qualifying session very, very soon. You see the shock there on the right front, and that's actually, I think, consistent for each corner of the car. I like how it's got that purple covering on. I don't know why, it just sticks out to me, and we're going to be able to watch that, well, those shocks do their work on these front couple of wheels all season long with these onboards. I definitely urge you to pay attention to that. Pay attention to the suspension travel on these cars. These are fun cars to work with, both from a driver and a broadcaster standpoint. I mean, even here on the TV camera, Trey, you can see the purple shock standing out.
Yeah, I was actually, from a glance, I actually wasn't quite sure what that was. I didn't know if that was a rendering issue. Then once actually you went to the onboard, I was like, oh, it was a shock. So I wasn't quite sure what that was. I'm actually kind of glad they made it with the purple, because as you said, it does make it stand out. So that's definitely something you can see on the onboard. So when these guys go into the turns and start moving up the racetrack, you're going to see how much that actually differentiates and how much they're actually moving around.
Rolling right into heat number one. Starting on pole, it's going to be Brett Haas in the number 55. Michael Hackett will roll off in second place. Starting in third, it's going to be Alan Wills in the number 111. Jamie Porter starts to his outside of row number 2. On the inside of row number 3, Andrew Ferguson in the number 34. And how about last season's champion, Travis Miller? He'll roll off 6th place in his first heat race of 2021. Rolling off 7th, it's the 121 of Tyler Pachalski. In the 4th row, it's David DiPietro to his outside. The final car of heat number 1, it's going to be Thomas Richard. So based on the fact that we have 9 cars here in heat number 1, I'd say we're going to have 4 heats. We're going to have 9 in this heat, 8 in the 3 subsequent heats, and that does get us to the car count of 33. It's hard to say exactly how many cars will transfer on from that. I would expect the cut line to be around 6. So I think That's where these guys can race to, is about 6th place. We might be taking a 7th here from heat number 1, but watch out for these drivers to be racing right around 6th place for your transfer spot. Of course, if you finish up higher, boy, you are even more safe, but I would certainly urge all these drivers to work on getting into the top 5 for sure. You can hear the Big Block Modifieds roared to life now here at Volusia Speedway Park. Boy, they sound great. Cannot wait to let these guys turn them loose for the first time of 2021. Oh my, that is a sound. You know what? Since we have these guys for the first time on PitStop TV, Trey, let's just turn them loose. Let's us stay quiet here for a lap and just listen to these cars go green flag racing. It's green flag racing, heat number 1 from Volusia. Lap 1 in the books. We have one spinner further back. Brett Haas continues to lead, though. It's Michael Hackett 2nd place. Alan Wills is, well, down a couple spots, actually. Jamie Porter, Travis Miller, they both get by. How about Miller working his way further up, closer to the podium now here in heat number 1. But all that matters is that you get into a transfer spot. Anything past that is just going to better your starting position. So far, Brett Haas would start on pole.
Yeah, Michael Hackett trying to work his way up to that 55 machine of Brett Haas, but looks like he's not doing that. As I said that, you know, he slides up using that bottom lane, gets there, but Travis Miller, or not Travis Miller, excuse me, Brett Haas has a better exit coming out of the corner. You know, covering this is a little bit different than asphalt, so you might have to bear with me here trying to call some of these moves because it looks like somebody's going to get it, and just so they don't. Looking at Travis Miller right now trying to work on that 45 and Jamie Porter.
Now lap number 5 of 8, Travis Miller working on 3rd place, Jamie Porter back around that transfer spot, however, currently taken up by Andrew Ferguson in the 34. Now we could see 7th place Thomas Richard get moved on. He's in the number 3T, but it's hard to say exactly if he will make it into the show right now. Of course, we got to wait and see exactly how they line up for the feature to know for sure, but this would be your transfer spot battle then. How about Travis Miller down to the bottom side, starting to dig that bottom side too, and he gets a great drive out of the corner, but it can't quite do anything with it. Lap 7 of 8 now. We're coming around to the white flag next time by.
Yeah, Travis Miller really trying to use up all of his stuff, trying to get around Jamie Porter. You're going to see Travis try to go a little bit to the outside, doesn't quite get it, slots in right behind Jamie. A little bit of a contact there, trying to bump him up the track. Look, luckily with these cars, you can do a little beating and banging and not too much is going to get done, but it looks like that's going to hurt Travis as we come to the white flag.
This is coming to the checkers. Brett Haas is going to win heat race number 1. Michael Hackett 2nd. Then it's Jamie Porter, Travis Miller, Alan Wills, Andrew Ferguson, Thomas Richard 7th place. Again, keep an eye out on those 2 names as far as making it into the feature race or not. But that's it for heat number 1, just like that. We got to move straight in to heat number 2. 8 cars on the grid. It's going to lead off with Maxime Plant and AJ Albreda. Albreda? It's hard to say. Correct us on those pronunciations in the coming weeks. Starting off in the 3rd position here in heat number 2, it's going to be Adam Hilton. We've seen a lot of him here in the BRP iRacing series. Don't forget about Gavin Eisel in the number 18. Starting off 5th place, it's going to be Brandon Gruhl in the 35. Starting 6th, it's going to be Richard Pereira in the number 96. The final row of heat number 2 going to be Dylan Davidson. We talked with him a lot last season, one of our commentators in the last season of the BRP iRacing series, and Jack Lenner in the 8th position. 8 cars rolling off for heat number 2, and again, we're watching that 6th or 7th position or so. I would imagine here in heat number 2, we could possibly C7, but I would expect 6 cars from this heat to move on into our feature race. I believe the car limit last season was 25. I think that's being held for this season. I would guess that the extra car over just 4 times, which would be 24, the extra car would come from heat 1. So again, look for the top 6 from heat number 2 to move straight on into the feature race. I would not expect P7 in this one to move on. So they're all racing for that number 96 and higher. Dylan Davidson, Jack Leonard, they're starting on the outside, looking and getting ready to go green flag racing for heat number 2 at Volusia Speedway Park. It's the BRP iRacing Series Big Block Modified Tour green flag for the second time this evening.
We're going to turn 1, the 22 AJ Beretta, or 32, excuse me, trying to work that outside line. Looks like he's going to maybe edge him out here. They're going to be side by side right at that quarter panel. And looks like he's going to clear him and take that lead.
Albretta up to P1, Maxime Plant into second place, and it's Gavin Eisel and Adam Hilton slots into fourth place, rather. How about this three-wide battle through 3 and 4? They can just pitch those cars to the inside of one another and technically be 3-4 wide. That's what's so great about dirt racing. The 79 Maxime Plant still trying to work on P1.
Yeah, you see Plant trying to work that inside line, trying to get to Albretta. Not quite getting there yet, as you see Albretta pull further ahead as they surge out of turn 4.
Across the line, completing now 3 laps of 8 in heat number 2. Adam Hilton still working just inside the transfer spots. Here's a transfer spot battle. This is actually 2 cars that are in, really going at it right now, and trying to put Richard Pereira out of this race possibly is Brandon Gruel, as Dylan Davidson's still working on all of this back here. He's now up into 7th position. What can he do? Can he get up into the 6th position possibly in that 73 car? He's got to get by that 96 and stay in front of that 35 on his inside. Now 5 in the books.
Yeah, for him to get up to that 96, he's got to run, basically a really perfect lap and hope that the 96 can make a mistake or even just slot up out of line just a little bit. You can see where the track is kind of going in a little bit, trying to find the groove, trying to find that grip. You see he has a little bit of bobble coming out of the corner. He's got 2 laps to do it.
We'll keep watching this transfer spot battle. Pereira trying to defend over Dylan Davidson. Can he possibly do it? We'll go on board with the 35 of Gruel as he tries to work to the bottom side of Davidson. I'm not so sure he can get there at this point. Final lap, white flag in the air in heat number 2. The 73 looking too good, but not quite good enough for the 96 right now. What can Davidson do in the final couple of corners? AJ Albretta is going to come around and win heat number 2 in the number 22. We're used to a 22 winning, but not Albretta. Then it's Plant, Eisel, Hilton, Leonard, and Pereira going to, well, walk away with that final transfer spot, we would imagine, in 6th position. Let's re-rack them, re-stack them, do it all again with a new field. It's going to be heat number 3 here for the BRP iRacing Series Big Block Tour. Cody Higbee rolling off on pole for this one. Then it's Kevin Hebert in the number 71. Rolling off 3rd, it's Cody McPherson in the 16th. Then Corby the Beef Daniels in 4th spot. Rolling off 5th, Ryan Beagle in 29. Then Michael Winner in the number 23 in 6th. Rounding out our 3rd heat race on the evening, the big show, Randy Giroux starts 7th. Rick Rogalski will roll off in the 8th position in the number 13 car. Almost at the 13th spot, but only 8 cars here in this heat race. It's crazy that we've already gotten through 2 heat races. We're already into our 3rd here at Trey Patton, but getting ready to turn them loose once more. I cannot wait for feature racing.
Yeah, feature racing, just seeing how quick these heats are going by, it just shows a testament to just how good dirt track racing is anyway, because it's quick and it's always competitive. Just from what I've seen here, just the heat races, the short little 16 laps I've seen from these guys, it's been action packed, and we get 2 more heats and a whole 40-lap feature. So I'm ready to see what these guys have, and it's just nice to see these cars out here because these guys have some pretty nice paint schemes as well, and that makes it something to see and watch as well to make it a lot more entertaining.
Absolutely, a lot of great new colors on these BRP machines, getting ready to get back going and sling some mud all over one another for 8 more laps. This is heat number 3 coming straight to you. Once more, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know we've got a lot of dirt racing fans that are making the choice to be with us this evening as opposed to where you could be, but we go back green flag racing. This is now heat number 3 on the evening for the BRP iRacing Series Big Block Modified Tour. That's the wrong graphic. There's the ticker on the left side of your screen. Higbee and Hebert, they battle through 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Hebert with the lead.
Hibbert using that top side to his advantage. They're going to be side by side going into 2, but you're going to see that outside line just prevail. And he's going to surge out of turn 2 on board, I believe, with the 88 of Corby Daniels right now. You see him working up to the back end of Higbee. He's going to try and use that outside line to his advantage to see if he can get up into the top spot.
You're seeing the bottom side starting to slick off. You're going to see all these guys start to move up the racetrack. The newly colored number 88 with Beef Esports on the side of it, currently running in 3rd place. We go back to that transfer spot battle. Randy the Big Show Giroux currently occupying the 6th position, working possibly on Cody McPherson in the 7. It's scored as the 16. It's pictured as the number 7, the 84 of Ryan Beagle in behind him, the first car on the outside looking in.
You see him, he was trying to use that outside line to get by him, but he got a little stacked up behind him. You see him going down to the bottom side now, hugging that inside wall. Looks like he's not going to get anything done by it now. Can't really tell, based on this onboard camera, but it is really nice to see that because that's not an angle you get to see very often on the asphalt side of things at all. As we see now, he's going to slide up right in front of the 7. A little bit of contact, the 84, they keep going. And this is just action-packed racing right here. Almost 3 wide going to a little more contact and sends them around into pit lane, the safe way to go.
McPherson around in the back end of the field. I think he'll continue on. We stay green flag racing, of course, now. A big gap for Ryan Beagle, going to help him out. We're coming around to the white flag. The transfer spot has sorted itself out. Giroux works the top side with the 29 of Beagle working on him. However, Kevin Hebert's going to come around to complete lap number 8 of heat number 3, and he is going to do so as the race winner. It's Kevin Hebert, then Cody Higbee, Corby Daniels, Michael Wenner, Ryan Beagle over Randy Giroux, then Rick Rogalski and Cody McPherson on the outside going home. The top 6 again move on to the feature race. Let's do it all over again, shall we, Trey Patton? Let's line them up for heat number 4. Dean Meitzler's going to roll off on pole. Then it's Joe Matthews in the number 1. Rolling off 3rd, it's Brian Berger in the number 60. Then Ryan Susi in the 38 in 4th. Row number 3 brings us Hunter Hullberg and Matt DeRitter in the 03 machine, scored on iRacing as the 25. Finally, rounding out our final row of heat number 3, it's Jan Boussier in the number 21 and Dan Sider on the outside of row number 4. Once again, 8 cars ready to go for 8 laps. We've seen it so many times now here in the BRP iRacing series. We're going to see it once more. Very much looking forward, again, to getting to that feature racing. Only one more heat left to go, buddy. We're so close.
So close yet so far to this feature race. I'm really looking forward to, I keep saying that, but this is just something I've never really got to do before. I've never got to cover a dirt race, so getting to see this is definitely something I get to broaden my horizons on, I guess, if you will. I get to experience something new, and I get to learn, which is something is always pretty important in the broadcast world, even just in general, learning new things. So learning this, I would definitely like to cover these guys again if given the opportunity.
Boy, you've learned a lot about learning. You've learned a lot about learning about broadcasting here in the last week. We're getting ready to go green flag racing for heat number 4 on the evening. Can you believe it? We're finally getting our 4th heat race in the BRP iRacing series. We'll do so now. The green flag gonna fly. Dean Meitzler, your pole sitter in heat number 4. He qualified in 4th place, but he's already down to 2nd, maybe even 3rd. Here comes Susi on the outside. Berger on the bottom. 3 wide down to turn number 3.
And just seeing in previous heats, that outside line just right up on the cushion is really kind of the place to go, especially on these restarts. I've seen a lot of people getting overtaken there. As you see, Susi finds his way up into 2nd. Berger finds his way into 3rd. Meitzler's just kind of falling back and almost under attack again.
They rip by the speed shot on the front stretch. They'll keep racing into 1 and 2. A whole gaggle of race cars. Matt DeRitter in the middle of it all. He's currently in that transfer spot. 3 wide, and they're going to close down on him. That hole went away quickly. Now he goes 3 on the inside of Meitzler, who's quickly going from pole to the left. Oh my gosh, he's going to hook Matt DeRitter into the wall right there. DeRitter keeps going, but suddenly, Wow, I don't even know what to say. Dean Meitzler qualifies on pole for this one all the way down to 7th place on the outside looking in.
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal for him at all. I don't know if he maybe just got a bad restart or just maybe just wasn't in the zone. But definitely dropping 6 spots already, within 5 laps is not very good because, as we saw, he almost dropped 2 spots within the first corner. So unfortunately for him, it looks like he might be going home if he can't get up to that 25 machine.
And that would be unfortunate for Dean Meitzler. We've seen a lot of him in those 360 sprint cars, up and completely out of the groove. Jumps the cushion in 1 and 2. He's going the wrong direction. Up front, Joe Matthews, the race leader, looking to possibly put away heat number 4, but he can't do it without Ryan Susie challenging him. Oh my, that number 38 right on the top side, ripping that cushion, wants to get on by on the outside if he can do it, but I'm not so sure that Matthews is going to let him. 1 lap to go, white flag going to fly on heat number 4. What can Susie do with Matthews? He gets the wall down the front stretch, working the top. Can he cross him over out of turn number 2? Possibly. He tries to get there. He's going to get there. Can he get it on the bottom side? Susie side by side with Matthews, drawing closer. Can he get there at the line? No, it's Joe Matthews winning heat 4. Susie 3rd, then Berger, Sider, Holberg, and DeRitter takes home the final transfer spot.
That was actually really exciting. I was almost standing up out of my chair because I honestly had no idea who was going to get that.
Oh my. We are even going to have... Are we going straight into the race? No, I think... This isn't a fifth heat, is it? This must be... yes, this is these are drivers that have been cut. I think we're racing for a consolation. This is the first time we've had this, so bear with us. Yeah, bear with us here. This is the first time we've had this in the BRP iRacing series. A little bit uncharted territory, but your grid for it is Alan Wills starting pole. Then it's Ryan Beagle second place, Andrew Ferguson third. The Big Show, Randy Giroux starting in 4th position. Then it's Thomas Richard in the 3T. He's starting 5th. Rick Rogalski will roll off 6th place. And completing your 8-car LCQ field, going to be David DiPietro and Cody McPherson. So, again, a little bit of uncharted territory, but being that there are, let's see, 8 of these cars, we would have cut 2 from the prior races. I think these guys must be going for 1 more position. We'll wait and see exactly how this is going to work out. Again, bear with us on this one. This is the first time we've had this many cars for a BRP iRacing Series race here on PitStop TV. But you know what? While we're gridding up, while we're getting ready for this LCQ, we want to thank all of our partners with the BRP iRacing Series, Bicknell Racing Products, Rival Power Coating and Sandblasting, Matt DeRitter Designs, and Jam Performance, always putting in their all here to support the BRP iRacing Series. Also, a big thank you to our partners here at PitStop TV, Tucson Sound Art, Permanent Makeup and Cryo Maine, and Whiplash Media. Ready to go racing once again, this time for 10 laps, increasing it by 2. Gonna force these guys to be on their toes and work with the changing of the track just a little bit. 10 laps to go in our LCQ. We're starting it all off with Alan Wills up front.
Alan Wills, you're going to see that 84 machine go up to the top side. We've seen that be the dominant line just here in these last few heat races. Looks like he's not going to quite make it work yet. We got contact. 2 cars around into the back of the field. Almost 3.
That's going to draw our first yellow of the evening. Alan Wills gets down into the bottom side and actually gets into the inside wall and completely tears that car up. Well, I shouldn't say tears it up, but tears up his run. Let's take a look back at it here, Trey Patton. Basically, he's just going to get down into that inside wall after starting on pole here. And since these are relatively open wheel, at least in the front, catching the wall with the left front wheel is going to completely launch him into the car to his outside, which was the Big Show, Randy Giroux. We'll watch it again. Watch the 111 on the bottom side of your screen, well, the bottom side of the racetrack. Boom! Gets into the wall right there, shoots him up into Giroux. Nothing Randy could do, and suddenly they're both around and have some damage to start off this LCQ race. Certainly heartbreaking for both of them. More so, Giroux, just a complete, absolute innocent bystander.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, you see that happen to, I guess, in other disciplines of, I guess, open wheel, just saying tire to tire contact, like an IndyCar F1 per se. But you don't necessarily see them, snagging an inside wall unless, IndyCar is on like a road course per se. But that right there is an excellent depiction of, just showing you want to hug the wall, but don't get too close to it because you hit it and it just sends you straight up. And then unfortunately, as you mentioned, Giroux had nowhere to go and, put him into the outside wall.
How about this? This is something we haven't been able to do yet here at PitStop TV. Bring you a camera from the pace car. We've actually got several of them. We'll go ahead and go through them now. This is a great one right here, I'd say. Looking back from the driver's side window, you can see the field. You can see part of the truck there pacing this field. We will have a double file restart. And caution laps are counting as well. That's very important to note for these guys, that they can't get away with that one. That's going to cost them a few laps. So Alan Wills halting our progress just a little bit. But hey, honest mistakes are everything that happen here in dirt racing. It's just you have to be on such a fine line, especially down there on the bottom side working with that slick. You've got to be perfectly in line. We're coming to the green flag to restart this LCQ. You see the field getting back going. How about that kind of view from the pace car as he dips down to the pit lane?
You see Beagle just pull straight away from the rest of the field. Ferguson further on back. You see Thomas Richard up into third spot. Rogalski also trying to fight his way up into the top spot, but he's pulled away. Beagle's pulled away by about over half a second right now. So he's kind of in the catbird seat. And as long as he keeps driving his race, I think he's going to be able to secure the spot into the feature.
Currently watching a second place battle as wow, the 34 Ferguson into the wall, and there's more contact further back, 3 wide. Giroux working the bottom side, tries to get by Rogalski, he will do so. A little bit of contact. That was actually DiPietro he just worked by, and that was for 6th spot. And we can tell you 6th spot is not the transfer here in this LCQ. Again, I think we're working up to that top spot. I didn't even quite realize Thomas Richard is on the outside looking in. I think they're racing for 25th, and if we are keeping a 25 car limit, boy, what kind of story that would be if Ryan Beagle unseats Thomas Richard, who was in that championship battle 1 season ago. We changed from sprint cars over to big blocks, and suddenly Richard on the outside looking in. Looks like he's not going to be able to get there to the final couple of corners of the last chance qualifier at Volusia, and Ryan Beagle steals the show from Thomas Richard. Thomas Richard, I believe, bear with me here, it could still change, but I believe is going home.
Find out right here. Actually, yeah.
We have another LCQ,
staging
it looks
another
like.
one.
Oh boy, so the cut line's been moved up, and this is why we're getting thrown for a bit of a loop here, because sometimes things change. Let's go ahead and work through this grid then, Trey, and see who we've got to work with. Starting on pole, it's going to be Jack Leonard, then Hunter Holberg in 2nd place. So we've got Richard Pereira in 3rd, Matt DeRitter in 4th, Dylan Davidson in 5th place, Dean Meitzler in 6th, Brandon Gruhl in 7th, Jan Bussiere in 8th, and Tyler Pachalski will round out our field of 9 cars going, well, we'll just say going for 10 laps. Ten laps on the docket, 9 cars to do so. Jack Leonard, your pole sitter. Then the 99 of Holberg on his outside. We'll do it all over again. Again, you'll have to bear with us a little bit. I keep saying that, but format's getting changed up a little bit new to the fact that we have LCQs. That's caught us a little bit off guard, but we will cover the action the best we can. The number 2, Jack Leonard, the pole sitter here for our 2nd LCQ of the evening. He will roll off as the pace car dips in. He'll get this race underway. We're green flag racing once more at Volusia, the 6th green flag on the evening.
We're going to see if Jack Leonard, is going to use that outside line to his advantage. Looks like he's going to do so, almost scraping the outside wall, using the top side of that track, using that cushion. Holberg following in suit right behind him. Matt DeRitter following also behind them in that 25 machine. Looks like they're going to fall, more so go single file up top there. They're making that work. They're going to be side by side for the P3 spot.
These onboards give a great new look at this action. That we use the onboards on the sprint cars a little bit, but it's just a completely different game using them on these big blocks. DeRitter working the bottom side. No, DeRitter working the top side. This is Davidson on the bottom as he tries to work back up to DeRitter. He's got company on the outside, though. Richard Pereira challenging the 73. There you see that black, gray, and red 96 trying to challenge these guys. And almost 2-3 wide. Maybe if DeRitter can stick his nose in between the 99, he will. 3 wide out of 4. What does Davidson do on the bottom side? Has to roll out of the throttle, give that spot up. And oh my, they're still mixing things up. Now maybe even 3 wide again. Here comes Davidson on the bottom, challenging DeRitter. Will he give him room? He does. Just enough room for a car down there. How about Dylan Davidson?
Yeah, what an absolute battle going on for the second, third spot. But if I am Jack Leonard, I'm loving seeing this in my mirror right now, because these guys are having to give up a little bit of time here and there so they don't risk wrecking themselves, and that's allowed him to pull at least 2 tenths. So you see there, he went from about a little over 6 tenths to almost 9 tenths of a second, that lap right there. So if they can keep doing that, he's going to ride away in the sunset.
Well, it literally is sunset right now here in De Leon Springs, Florida. The virtual version, anyways, with, oh my, contact for Hulberg and Pereira out of 4. Here comes Brandon Gruhl up into this mess. He's going to get a couple of spots, gets by Meisler, gets by Hulberg, and now he's up into the 5th spot, racing for 4th with Pereira. And oh boy, they're mixing things up in all kinds of ways. Pachalski around in the back. It looks like Broussard will get on by him. 2 laps to go that time by.
Looking here, you see Gruhl trying to use that bottom side. The 99 going up to the top side right behind Pereira. Looks like they're trying to see what they can do there. The 99 trying to search around for some grip. Not quite going to get it here. As we see, Jack Leonard actually takes the checkered flag here and wins the LCQ.
The second LCQ on the evening, going to the number 2 of Jack Leonard. Then it's Matt DeRitter, Dylan Davidson, Richard Pereira, Brandon Gruhl, Hunter Hulberg, Dean Meitzler, Jan Boussier, and Tyler Pachalski, your LCQ number 2 field after 10 laps of 10. We now have a feature. Trey Patton, we are finally ready for what turns out to be 26 cars. So, what we can take from that is that it looks like, based on who we have left, we took 8 from the 4 heats, so 4 apiece. Then we threw everybody else into a couple of LCQs, and they make up the back 10 positions. So it was 5 apiece from the looks of things. We're gridding up on the front stretch. Let's take you down your starting grid here for the BRP iRacing Series, the first show in the Big Block Modifieds. Rolling off first, it's Brett Haas in the 25, AJ Albretta in second place in the 32. Then it's Kevin Hebert in the 71, Joe Matthews the 1, 3rd and 4th. 5th goes to Michael Hackett, 6th to Maxime Plant, 7th place going to go to Cody Higby, 8th to Ryan Susi, 9th and 10th going to go to Jamie Porter and Gavin Eisel.
11th, we have Corby Daniels. 11th, Brian Berger. 13th and 14th, we have Travis Miller and Adam Hilton. 15th and 16th, we have Michael Winter, 16th, we have Dan Sider. 17th, we have Ryan Beagle. 18th, we have Jack Leonard. 19th and 20th, we have Thomas Richard and Matt DeRitter.
Your back 6 cars is going to look like this. Andrew Ferguson, Dylan Davidson. Then on the bottom side, Cody McPherson. The outside, Richard Pereira. The bottom side of the final row, it's row 13. Rick Rogalski in the number 13. And Brandon Gruhl on his outside rounds out our 26-car field. 26 cars set to go for 40 laps. A bit of a different ring to that one from a season ago with the 360 sprint cars. Look at that 55. That's one of the cooler paints in the field, I'd say. That number just, I don't know, it screams amazing. I love the gradient in it too, and he's starting on pole, looking good doing it. Coming to our first official race green flag of the BRP iRacing Series in 2021. Brett Haas, the pole sitter, rips off into one immediately to the top side, defending his first position.
Yeah, seeing an amazing paint scheme like that, I agree. The number definitely makes that pop. It's definitely a good-looking car to see up front. Almost 3 wide for that second spot. You see Alberta trying to follow suit, trying to take that top spot away. We got one going down to the bottom. That's the 71 of Hebert. He's trying to use that inside line, trying to get past Joe Matthews on the outside.
Loving this close battling already. Alberta got right to the back end of Haas. A little bit of contact that time. They keep racing. Matthews the top side. There's that 79 of Maxime Plant trying to now race to the top side, if he can, of Kevin Hebert, who's still trying to see if he can work by Joe Matthews. Finally, he'll do it there on the entry to 3. What can Matthews do on the top side? Racing for third. Side by side, still at the start-finish line.
It's still side by side as we look in there. Almost 3 wide going down the back stretch here. Not quite going to do it. They roll out of the throttle a little bit. Looking on board, I think this is the 38 Ryan Susi. You're going to see behind him, up in front of him, Maxime Plant in front of him with Hebert down on the bottom side. Trying to see that there. He's kind of working the middle line there behind them. Trying to run to the outside. Almost 3 wide in front of them. They're going to cross the stripe for lap number 6.
Oh, we love this sight, seeing everybody rip past that speed shot there at the flag stand. Almost 3 wide for second place. That's Hebert working the bottom, then Matthews the middle. The top side, the 22 car, a different 22 than we're used to. It's AJ Alberta currently working that cushion. Gets a big launch down the straightaway, clears them both, and now a little bit of contact on the line. They get it figured out. Susi enter him back into this battle. He's now nosing ahead into 5th. Can he get 4th on the top side of Joe Matthews? Quite possibly. That black and yellow number 1 starting to look a little bit slower on the bottom than initially thought. And Ryan Susi, great run to the top side. Then he hits the wall at the flag stand.
Yeah, definitely a lot of action-packed racing going on throughout the entire field, actually. You can kind of see further on back from this onboard shot, even from some of the TV cameras, that further on back through the field, that there's some still side-by-side action. So you can see coming out of the corner there, that they're still side-by-side further on in the back, but a lot of the action going on further on up front here. There's the 22 Travis Miller. That's the 22 we're used to hearing and seeing about. I've covered Travis over the Bluegrass iRacing series, so it's kind of cool to see him running on dirt and covering him here. So that's pretty cool for me to be doing that. But you see him working around that 84 machine. He's still working there. Hasn't quite got around him yet. But that's the thing with dirt. I've figured out it's basically a lot of patience, kind of like not with asphalt, so it's more grip searching. So this is definitely something I'm enjoying to see here. Is they're almost three wide, excuse me, right there.
Yes, sir. 3 wide as they battle down the back stretch. Up in the front. How about this pass for the race lead? Get Haas crossing back over. He does. Doesn't quite clear him. Alberta get a battle on the top side. Haas finally retakes the lead. Clears him in the 79 down to the bottom side. Maxime Plant gets alongside Alberta. Makes sure he can't go back to the bottom like that. But Alberta jacks him up a little bit. Shot in the shorts. Gets the 55. Maybe a little bit squirrely into the corner. Brett thinks nothing of it. Now down to the bottom side goes AJ Alberta once more. What can he do down there? The bottom side slicking off. Starting to give up grip side by side. Drag race off into 3.
Yeah, side by side drag race. You see, just from some of the dirt races I've seen, this is very, very common. It's actually quite interesting to see. Ooh, washes right up the track. Thought he might have actually collected the 79 there a little bit. But nonetheless, as we said earlier, these cars are meant to take a bang. Like, these guys can hit, beat, and bang all day long as they don't go up and over. And heck, they can still go up and over and still end up running.
26 cars all flying by your speed shot on the front stretch. The 22, the 79 battling for top honors currently. Brett Haas has fallen to 4th. And how about AJ Alberta wins his second heat race of the day. Well, it was the second heat race of the day that he won anyways. Maxime Plant is now working on him. The 22 just bringing some unexpected speed for sure. Plant working to the bottom side though, driving right through the slick. You can see Alberta's keeping his right rear in the, not the greasier dirt, but the more moist dirt, if you will. Keeping it in the moisture for sure. Trying to keep that top line away from the 79. Now, in 1 and 2, he makes a liar out of him. He goes to the bottom side, puts that right rear right in the slick on the bottom side. These have much thicker tires in the front, but compared to a sprint car, the rear doesn't give you a whole lot of extra grip. There's still a ton of power in these 460-some cubic inch motors, and you're not really gaining any extra tread. I'm surprised they can just run through the black stuff like that, run through the black ice, as Emerson Arden puts it, and keep so much grip in these cars.
Yeah, I was actually kind of wondering that myself. You know, just these things. Oh, around Hebert goes up and hits him, almost goes up into the outside wall. We have a caution. Travis Miller involved as well.
Oh boy, and it comes up at the front. We watched it all live, and AJ Albretta is going to get turned around. Let's take a look back at how it happens. Oh, I'd imagine the 32, well, visually the 22, but scores the 32 of Albretta cannot be happy with this one. This was just racing for the lead, though, I think. I don't think really anything malicious happens here. We're watching along here, Albretta in the number 22 on the top side. Here comes the 79 of Plant down to the bottom, and they're just going for the same piece of real estate. And then there's nothing Hebert can do but get into him and spin him the rest of their way around. Nowhere for Travis Miller to go and a few more pile in, make a little bit of contact. Nothing going to hurt those cars, I don't think, but certainly going to send the 22 of Albretta very far back in this field. In fact, all the way back to dead last, 26th position. And that's just a product of it.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Albretta. You know, obviously one of the more competitive guys in the field running up front, and just unfortunately all three guys battling for that same piece of real estate. And unfortunately, it's just a product of racing. And now we're going to see how true his speed is as he's trying to work his way up from dead last to try to get back up to the top of the field. He's still got 20 laps or so.
Oh, we're sending the 79 to the back. They've called that one. I would imagine possible shared responsibility here for the 79 and the 22. We're sending Maxime Plant to the back of the field. Oh, that is killer for his race. A little bit of contact. I'm not sure anything could really be blamed on either one. That might just be a shared fault there from race control, I would say. I don't think we're really pinning that on any one driver in particular. I think that's just a shared fault for those two, but the 79 does go to the back end of the field. We didn't count caution laps earlier on, but we did count them earlier on in the heats and the LCQs, but we are counting them here under feature race cautions. That's why you see the scorecard going all kinds of wonky, just because, well, it's moving all around. But coming to our first restart of the evening, Kevin Hebert, the race leader, gets it launched off the bottom side, and he's already going to clear Ryan Susi on the top.
Yeah, Hebert was able to get an excellent restart there. Looking further on back, you see Brett Haas finally back up into the top 5 after being up front at the start. Kind of had a little bit of a, I guess, falling back, if you will. We're watching Joe Matthews here on the bottom side, trying to battle for that TP2 spot. Looks like
Caution's out. Caution number 2 of the evening. And oh boy, it's hard to say exactly where this one's going to come from, but there's a couple of cars that are slow back here. We'll try and figure it out for you, and we'll take yet again another replay and see what happens out of turn number 4. Oh, very back in the field. It looks like somebody gets turned around back here. Still trying to work out who that might have been. And it's going to be, oh, this car right here. That is the 96 of, oh gosh, I can't even think of that name. He's one of the new ones. Richard Pereira turned around in turn 3. And let's find out exactly what happens to him. Let's see how this happens to the driver of the number 96. Richard Pereira working the bottom side initially off this restart. You see DeRitter up in front. He's on the bottom side. Contact, I'd imagine, with the two of them. Yep. I don't know that DeRitter ever knew he was down there. Turns down, and Pereira was already there. Spins the 96 around. The 96 tries to get back going. Noses it into the wall. Oh, and I think that might be his day done.
Yeah, I don't know if he... Looks like he got stuck in the wall. Something unfortunate that happens on iRacing, but it's just part of it. Can't perfect everything.
We're going to watch on board with Pereira here on this restart. We'll see a little bit better of an angle as to what happens here racing with DeRitter. The number 03, he immediately got into, well, not immediately, but initially gets into Adam Hilton right there. And then, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what anybody could have done differently. You're in the back of the field going for around 18th or so, and Sometimes that kind of thing just happens. So we'll re-rack them, restack them, do it all over again with the 71, I believe, still as your race leader. It should be anyways. Kevin Hebert, possibly Ryan Susi, unless Hebert chose to take the outside line. But I don't know that we have a choose rule here. Although he does get the race restarted, so maybe he just took the top side. Susi on the bottom, immediately already starting to battle with Brett Haas and Joe Matthews for second.
You know, from basing off of what we saw in those heat races, I don't blame Hebert for taking that top side, because from what we saw, it was the dominant line. You know, we've seen some guys work in the bottom, but you see Brett Haas, he's also using that top line. He just went from about 5th or 6th. Now he's battling for 2nd.
Brett Haas working on Susi. This is for 2nd place. How about Joe Matthews on the bottom? Almost kicks Susi up out of there. How about Higbee? Where did he come from? I don't know if we've gotten a look at his car at all yet this evening, but the 97 suddenly working inside the top 10. Don't forget Travis Miller back here. He's in the 6th spot now in the number 22. He's our reigning champion, but in the sprint cars, you see Matthews some damage on the right side. The Jam Performance number 1 starting to fall back a little bit. Oh, and Miller gonna get the wall down the front stretch, but we keep racing, and oh my, it's getting good.
You see Travis trying to search around for some grip. Topside didn't seem to be to his fancy. We're going to see a little bit of contact there with him and Joe Matthews in that one machine. They're going to be side by side. More contact going into the corner. And that's just allowing everyone in front of them to pull away and allowing everyone behind them to pull back forward. It looks like we have a caution on the speed, but 1 car, 2 cars up and over.
Thomas Richard and Andrew Ferguson. A couple turned around. More contact between these two. Oh, man. Let's try and figure out what happens. Oh, they might be giving words to one another as well after the fact. Oh, my. This is going to be one heck of an incident here in a moment. We're going to see it in just over a lapse, or just under a lapse time. This is 4 wide out of turn 2. How about this kind of racing for these guys? Oh, my. Up, down, everywhere in between for these guys. Contact there with the 2 and the 3T. Then 4 wide some more. And I mean, he just gets squeezed onto the catch fence. Adam Hilton does, and Ferguson, nothing he could do. Oh my, that's what happens when you're suddenly racing 4 wide at a dirt track.
I think I see why these guys only do 4 wide under pacing now.
That's one way to put it. Let's see if we can't look back at what happens here to... we're going to have to try and find that 34 car again. So here they come out of turn 4. Let's see if we can get a better angle of it. Here it is. And yeah, I mean, Hilton just gets squeezed up onto the catch fence. You don't usually see a modified getting airtime like that, but oh my did he. And that's going to halt our progress once more. Kevin Hebert still going to be our race leader, and we'll be coming around to take lap 25, 26 whenever we go back green flag racing, as we have, well, we are currently on lap 25 at this latest stoppage of action. You see the official iRacing pace truck up there in front of the field getting double file once more. A couple of stoppages in our action this evening, but hey, that's what's going to happen in your first big block modified race of league history. A lot of these guys, yes, they are big block modified drivers, but even if you're the best big block driver in the country, a big adjustment going from a real car to a few pixels on your screen. That said, this is about as close as you're going to get without being in said car. Right now, Kevin Hebert is your race leader. Excuse me, Brett Haas, 2nd place. Ryan Susi, 3rd. We're coming back to our green flag. Bit of a checkup on the top side, getting Hebert a launch.
You see Hebert and Haas side by side. More contact. He goes to the outside wall almost. Brett Haas going to reclaim the top spot.
They're not done behind. Hebert now on the top side of Susi. They made some contact out of 2 as well. Here comes the 84 of Hackett to get into this. Matthews now working on the bottom side. He lost a couple of spots. Here comes Travis Miller on the bottom. The number 22 bringing the fight to the 55. Turn one of those over. You've got their competitor's number. And Miller's just driving through the slick like nobody's business. Side by side, it's still Haas at the line, but this yellow 22, the champion in the sprint cars, the champion in the NASCAR Cup cars, in the BRP iRacing series, he can do it all. Sorry, the Bluegrass iRacing series, Travis Miller can really do it all. Now working the bottom side through the slick to complete lap 28, he's in the lead.
Travis Miller is making these guys make sure that he cannot be counted out. Yeah, he may have won in a sprint car, but he's making sure that these guys know that he's able to wheel one of these things around too. You know, he was further on back. Weren't quite sure how he would fare into this field. Here he is up front with 10 laps to go. He's on the point.
What a drive out of this 22 car to go from somewhere in the back of the field. Let's see where he started. 13th position, the unlucky 13, proving to work out for this 22 beefy sports machine. Working by the start-finish. Oh my, that was even at the line, I think. And you know what? We're going to mix it up. 3 wide now with Hebert getting back into this. How about it?
Yeah, Hebert definitely, you're going to see a little bit of contact there. Maybe not too happy with what happened earlier, but obviously a little bit of clean contact. Didn't clean anybody out. He's going to reclaim that second spot, moved Brett Haas out of the way. So now he's going to try and use that top side and run down that 22 of Travis Miller. We're coming to about 7 laps to go. If anybody's going to get it done, it's Hebert. And he's there working that top side, and I think he might get it out of 2.
Oh, he's got the best car right now. He is certainly the best out of this entire bunch. Out of 26 cars, he's the fastest. Now, working that cushion once more. Up in the good dirt, up in the moisture. He's going to have tons of grip on a 4 and just working the top side to get on by leader Travis Miller. How about the 71? Brett Haas and Ryan Susi. They battle for 3rd and 4th. Joe Matthews up there as well. There's the 73. Dylan Davidson working on the top 5. How about that? For the number 73, you go, Dylan. He was in the booth for most of last season with us, showing that he can do it all as well. Go from the booth back down to the driver's seat. He's got a modified in real life and showing that he can drive it as well.
It's always good to see some of these guys that transfer from the booth back on down to the racetrack. So, you know, some of these guys, oh, he's out of practice a little bit. But here he is, working his way, trying to get into the top 5, excuse me. And he's just about to do it here as he's working his way on by that one machine of Joe Matthews, excuse me, and trying to get up to Susi for even a top 4.
See tons of racing back here in the back half of the top 10. We'll keep tabs on the leaders, but watch this for now. Hackett's in the middle of almost a 3-wide situation. That's Higbee on the top side of the 97. He's in 9th place. Berger rounds out your top 10. But Albreta's back into a battle after getting all kinds of mixed up earlier on. You see no front end on his car, but he is keeping in it. He wants to race for a top 10 and some more, but they're not done up in the front. Miller starting to reel in. Hebert almost side by side. Can he get there into 3?
Going into turn 3, he's going to send it and slide right up in front of him, but the over-under from Hebert, he's going to reclaim the top spot right there. 2 laps to go.
How about that slide job a half a lap ago? Now at a turn number 2, they'll battle down the backstretch. What does Miller do? Does he do it again? Yes, he tries. Can he get there? Slide job again. How about the crossover out of Hebert? Here comes Brett Haas. White flag, 1 to go. Haas now going to try the bottom side from the basement to the attic, and he can't quite get there. Hebert still with the race lead. They shot themselves in the foot. Now they're going to try and crash for 3rd, and Kevin Hebert's going to walk out of turn number 4 and walk out of Volusia. A race winner. Brett Haas gets Travis Miller for 2nd.
That was absolutely fantastic driving from every single one of these drivers. Dylan Davidson finds his way into the 5th spot, so excellent drive for him. Albreta, after getting turned out of the lead, drives his way back from dead last all the way up to 7th.
Lots of big nights out here for a lot of different drivers. Oh my. You know what? It might be a good thing that we've got a different crew on Pacific GT3 in a little while, because that race wore me out. These guys, oh my. That was amazing racing through and through. Kevin Hebert going to walk away the race winner. Wow, what a way to start things off here at Volusia. This is why we love dirt racing here at PitStop TV. This is why we love the BRP iRacing series. That was fantastic. Hebert gets sent back at one of those final restarts, drives back through a bunch of the field, and is going to still walk away a race winner. This song that we're going to carry to break is called Stars Align. I think it's perfect for this situation. Kevin Hebert wins at Volusia. We'll be right back after a post-race break.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
What a night of racing to kick off the BRP iRacing Series Big Block Modified Tour. Kevin Hebert is going to walk away our first race winner. There you see him tearing out of turn number 2 with Miller and Haas in tow. Let's kick off our post-race coverage by talking to none other than our race winner. Kevin, what a show! I can't believe what we just saw. You were throwing some nasty sliders there with Travis Miller. Amazing racing between you two to throw those moves, cross them back over, and keep it all clean.
Thank you. Such a fun race tonight. Couldn't believe it when I got the slide job on the first corner, but got myself together, got back on the podium with a win. Super happy with tonight's race and super pumped up for next race.
You know what, we broadcasters, we can get into our whole broadcast voice, if you will, but it takes an extra level of something special for me to get as loud as I was tonight. What was working for you so well up on the top side that those guys took a while to figure out?
It's such a big work with the gas pedal, and also I gotta say a big thank you and a big shout out to my crew chief, actually my girlfriend, who told me the outside was really fast. Didn't see that till I got the text message. So yeah, it worked out for me. Keep my line till the end. It worked out pretty well, and also in the field I had really great control of my car, so it paid out.
How about that? Your girlfriend helping you out. That's pretty dang cool, actually. That's one of the cooler race win stories we've had so far. That's pretty cool. I think she needs a pretty expensive dinner tomorrow night, I'd say. A big win for you here tonight, Kevin. Who makes it happen for you other than just your girlfriend?
Of course, my girlfriend, my dad watching at home. Here in Quebec, we have our home series, driver simulation. And also, my guys here, Les Gars de Course, talking about racing on Facebook and on social media. But also all the people around me and all the French guys racing tonight with us. Really happy to be with those guys.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, some great fishing in Quebec, a whole lot of great race car drivers as well. You get it done tonight, 12 laps led. I can't wait to see you in a week's time at Lima Land.
I'll be there, and I'll try to talk back with you, Andrew. I really appreciate it. You're a nice guy.
Once again, congratulations so much, Kevin. We'll see you at Lima Land.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Kevin Hebert gets it done. How about that? Oh, my. You know, that's actually legitimately one of the better stories we've had about who helps get a race win. His girlfriend watching, I'd imagine, be it on his sim or on the broadcast, I don't know, texting him, hey, the top looks good, go run it. How about that, helping him out? But second place, Brett Haas was looking pretty good too. We'll bring him right to you here, Trey Patton.
Brett Haas started on the pole, had a heat win, excuse me, but kind of fell back further on in the race and ended up finding your way back up to the top spot, and then had a little bit of a battle there with Travis Miller there at the end. Just talk us through tonight, man.
Yeah, started out good. This series, you really have to. There's so many good guys. You really have to start, come out swinging, and with a good qualifying run, we were able to do that and get the heat race win, and that takes a lot of pressure off you. At least you qualify through. And yeah, feature we kind of fell back. I'd say about halfway through, and then once we got our rhythm again, we started battling there with Travis, and I think his name's Kevin. I haven't raced with him yet, but he was really, I mean, he was the class of the field tonight, and Travis did everything he could, and I just took advantage of Travis trying to pull a slider there at the end, because he was the class of the field in the sprint cars. But yeah, great night for the first turnout, and seems like a good thing. Beef's putting a lot of work into this series along with you guys, so we appreciate it.
So we figured out that, obviously, from us watching, that the top side was the way to go. So how quick did it take you to figure out? Because from our previous interview with Kevin, he didn't know that the top side was the way to go until his crew chief, which we found out was his girlfriend, actually sent him a text saying, run the top.
So, I mean, I was up there pretty much all race. I think the bottom, I think the top was there most of the race. It was just the bottom was there earlier on, so guys were able to kind of pull up next to your door and then slide you going in the corner, where towards the end there was nothing. I mean, you had to be right up against a cushion. The track started getting pretty abrasive, so I think he was just able to roll it a little better than I was. But man, it was a fun race. My heart gets pounding, I think, more sometimes more in this than in real life, because you have mirrors in this, so you could see who's behind you and what they're trying to do. You could see when they're about to slide you, so keeps you on your toes. But I really got to thank all my real life marketing partners too. Dave Prime with Mac Tools, he's putting a ton of effort into our real life program. Just in a few short weeks, we're going down to Florida for the Short Track Super Series, and like I said, he's really doing a lot for our entire program this in real life. So it wouldn't be possible to even run and compete in real life without his support. And one of my other marketing partners, MJI Transport, he's actually going to pick up a new trailer we're getting tomorrow. So, and I got to thank all my real life sponsors too. 4Wide, Bilstein Shocks, Swift, FK Rod Ends, Brooks Lawn Care, County Auto Wrecking, my entire family crew in real life. They support me. I think we had about 15 people watching at one point. So they're definitely supportive of this whole thing, and I'm glad to see it taking off. And I think we had quite a few viewers tonight on the stream. So it seems like it's picking up steam.
Well, we appreciate having all these people support you and supporting us, and we're really glad to be covering you guys. This is my first time covering you guys, and I regret not doing so before, but definitely a heck of a trip tonight, and I can't wait to be back with you guys again. So with that being said, we'll let you go, and have a great night, and thank you, and congratulations on a second place finish.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And that is our second place finisher, Brett Haas. We're going to turn it back over to Andrew for third place finisher, Travis Miller.
And boy, Travis Miller just cannot escape PitStop TV, can he? He's always brought in here, it seems like, after a race to talk to us. Travis Miller, it's not quite that first place you had a couple of times through this one, but coming up third place, still a podium. How about that battle with Kevin and Brett? Oh my!
Yeah, it was fun for sure. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get anything rolling on the top there. I knew that I had to slide him to get up there, but then he would just cross me over and his momentum was better. So it brought Brett in, which I had a feeling it was going to, but got to try and do something for the win. Can't just sit in second. So
That great looking new number 22, a new font on there for you as well, a new team. Tell us about how Beef Esports is working here in this BRP iRacing series.
It's good. We got another guy, AJ, who's also on the team, and you know, we can't really share much since it's a fixed setup. But if he notices something or if I notice something, we'll talk a little bit. And you know, it's just it's fun just supporting Corby in any way that we can. He puts a lot into it, and we want to show him that we care about what he's doing for us. So he broke some records for us tonight, and you guys always put on a great show, and thankfully it's all working out for him, so it's great to see.
Oh my gosh, you guys are the ones that brought the great show. We just talk about it for a little while, and oh my, you threw some great moves there on Kevin. He threw some great moves on you, likewise with you and Brett. Great stuff out there tonight. Who makes it happen for you? Who allows you to do this?
Yeah, I just got to thank Beef of Beef Esports for signing me on there. It's a pleasure. Jam Performance for his real-life shock work. He does some of the best. Miller's Auto Detail, the BRP iRacing series for supporting me in other divisions and series that I run, and for you guys for putting on the broadcast. It's always great to watch.
Absolutely, Travis. Thanks for putting on a great show for us, making our job a whole lot easier out there tonight. Congratulations on third place.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Travis Miller, very used to the PitStop TV interview booth at this point in time. He's been with us a whole lot, it seems like. Oh, man, you're seeing the whole field fly by here. I think this was pretty close to the end of the race. This might have been the end of the race here. Wow, the 7 gets into the wall. Here comes Adam Hilton as well. Oh, man, amazing stuff to open up the Big Block Modified Tour for the BRP iRacing Series. Let's walk down our race results, leading off with Kevin Hebert, the race winner, leading 12 laps, winning it by a little over a half second. Out of Quebec, Brett Haas finishes second place, and it's Travis Miller. Ryan Susi in fourth place, just over a second out of it. Then Dylan Davidson from the booth back down to the racetrack, finishes in fifth. Joe Matthews sixth. AJ Albretta, new to Beef Esports, like Travis mentioned, he's 2.4 seconds back in the race lead. Then it's Cody Higbee, Brian Berger, and Michael Hackett, your top 10.
11th through 20th, we have Jack Lenner finishing 11th, Jamie Porter 12th, Maxime Plant 13th, Ryan Beagle 14th, Adam Hilton 15th, Gavin Easel, if I messed that up, my apologies, in 16th, Cody McPherson in 17th, Thomas Richard 18th, Andrew Ferguson 19th, and Matt DeRitter in 20th.
The back 6 cars going to look like this. Richard Pereira, Michael Winner, Corby Daniels, Corby the Beef Daniels, in fact, the head of Beef Esports. Not a great night for him, 23rd position. Then it's Brandon Gruhl, Rick Rogalski, and Dan Sider, making up all 26 cars that took the green flag this evening. Before anyone goes anywhere, I want to tell you about some of our partners here for the BRP iRacing Series, leading off with Bicknell Racing Products, the namesake of the BRP iRacing Series, as well as Rival Powder Coating and Sandblasting, Matt DeRitter Designs, and Jam Performance. We also have to give a big thank you to our partners here at PitStop TV. Leading off with Tucson Sound Art, your picture, your music. You provide the image you want, and they will custom create a beautiful framed, high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With Sound Art, you get the best of both worlds. Visit Tucson Sound Art for more information and to order using code PitStopTV for 10% off of your purchase today. It's a great product. I absolutely, and this is not just because we get paid to do it, believe me, it is a great product, and the value is immeasurable. It's gonna last you a long time. It's durable. It sounds great. A good quality speaker in these Tucson Sound Art devices. Amazing stuff that Robert Pattengale and everybody else over at Tucson Sound Art has going on. If you're looking for a great gift, possibly for your girlfriend that just helped you want to race there, Kevin Hebert, by all means, check out Tucson Sound Art. Get yourself one of their devices. It hangs out very easily up on your wall. It shows any moment, like possibly a race win, that your girlfriend helped you get, Kevin Hebert. And I mean, it plays music. It's just, it is a fantastic product. We also want to shout out Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. If you're in the market to change your 2021 appearance, boy, you want to head over to Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine with 3 locations in Auburn, Lewiston, and Harrison, Maine. They can get you taken care of. Ashley Boyer and Company. They're at 207-358-8683 or Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine on Facebook or even permanentmakeupinmaine.com. Check them out for more information. Also, a big thank you, as always, to Whiplash Media, parent organization here of PitStop TV, taking care of us with graphics, camera overlays especially, and everything else that we need to make it all happen. Wow, what a race here, Trey Patton. You've already said it a few times. I've already said it a few times. Amazing stuff to kick off the season.
Absolutely. These guys put on an absolute heck of a show. Glad I was able to be a part of it. Glad you convinced me to come do this broadcast with you. Like I said before, unfortunately, I'm kind of upset that I wasn't able to do this before due to, work circumstances. But now with the foreseen future here, hopefully I can be able to tag along and do a little more of this series, because these guys definitely put on a heck of a show and they know how to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. They definitely got the ball rolling this evening. That does conclude our coverage tonight, however, of the BRP Big Blocks at Volusia. We at PitStop TV thank you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Be sure to join us again here in just a little while. In fact, in 28 minutes at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, that's 7 p.m. on the West Coast, for the Pacific Challenge GT3 Series at Road America. Again, Wednesday evening as the Bluegrass iRacing Series keeps us up north at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And on Friday for the LTAC Cup Series trip to Richmond Raceway. A great week of racing up ahead. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/PitStopTV, on Twitter at PitStopTV_, on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV, and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/C/PitStopTV1. For all of us here at PitStop TV, Trey Patton with me on the mic, Trey Shuttlesworth on social media, I'm Andrew Cardinale IV. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you do so again in 27 minutes time, and we will see you there at Road America. Have a great night.